One of the things that you mentioned earlier, though, was the walls, though. So I wanted to go back to the walls. Like,
yeah,
if you want to be with a guy, if you want to be building something with a guy, something authentic. I think I heard you say something about authenticity earlier. Why would you put up walls to stop him from connecting with you?
I think it's like, I don't know, it's like a power and control cycle, because I've been trapped in that before. I'd say it's like a lot of like love bombing, like all the pretty stuff in the beginning, and then what I'm scared about is like when things get hard. Like nobody wants to see like someone, it's like there's no effort in humanity anymore. Like if nothing's picture perfect, if nothing's just like your profile, like it's just, you can't feel. If you do, you're weak. And I think guys see that, like as a female, it's like, oh, that's too much to handle, we're just kind of going to push that aside, like move on to the next thing, or just whatever guys do now. And then girls, as like, I think as like empathetic or especially sensitive ones, I think what we do preventively is just like put a huge wall up, like before you can get hurt, you hurt them first.
Her trauma is her wall.
Yeah.
In my opinion on this, go ahead.
What do you think your trauma is?
Who's
are you asking, Caitlin?
Caitlin, yeah.
Oh, I know what my trauma is, but I'm not going to say that on a podcast.
Okay.
And my opinion is too, is that having the walls ultimately is kind of like what's, and I don't mean it in any, offensive anything, but it's kind of the walls that's kind of not allowing you to actually hone in the details of the man that you actually really truly desire. And it's going to stop you from finding him. I know we love the narrative and the rhetoric that he's just going to find me one day, but from my dating experience and what I've learned, and including my trauma as well, is that it's not how it's ever going to work. Not only you've got a man that's going to put in the effort if he's intentional, but if the woman's intentional, then it's actually on her too as well to put in the amount of time, effort, resources, investment as well. But and it's going to be different to where he's doing it as a man, she's doing it as a woman. And another narrative that gets thrown around a lot is that says know your worth, that he's not worthy of you. That happens all the time. I see that a lot. And my cringe factor with that is like, okay, well then what is the worth and what has this woman done to earn it? Because I've learned that even as easy as days it is with my husband, every day is still relationship laundry, such as making sure it's all work. And it's just as simple as, making sure I slap his cute when I walk past him, given the affection that he does the same for me. And then also wanting to take on conflicts and the tough times head on together. And that's the other thing too, that I've noticed, is that a lot of people shy away from conflict, and it's just that's the other thing too. It's just going to happen. We have to have the tough conversations completely. 6 months into our dating, he said, it's like, okay, you understand I have MS. You either need a walk or you're committed to this. And so that, and then the other thing too, I noticed in the beginning of dating too, is that kind of like putting on kind of like the show, trying to impress, is because there hasn't been any time to observe anybody under duress or in conflict to really see their true character. That's really where, in my opinion, true character can really come out, is during conflict, during those tough conversations, and without people wanting to deal with it or just don't have any conflict resolution. That's where just everything is just falling apart. And also not getting over hurts, trauma, kind of like always being fearful that's going to happen again, is also holding back a lot of people. The other thing that's holding back a lot of people too is coming on with the face. A lot of people are not putting their self forward to what's going to be sustainable and what's going to maintain theoretically a healthy relationship, build upon it, and then being able to keep it healthy and keep it going and maintain and sustain. I don't think many people go for the sustaining part at all.
With respects to the trauma part of where, you know, we get to, and I've seen us arrive at this before, and I'm gonna give you the resentment and guilt speech. If you guys have watched the entire series, you know what I'm going to talk about here. I think we were talking to Kelly about this one. Was her name, if I'm not mistaken? But in life, we carry baggage around in the form of emotions that we project outwardly and inwardly. The guilt component is what we project on ourselves. The resentment is what we project on other people, right? I feel guilty because of insert reasons. I feel resentful because of these reasons, because these things happened to me a lot of the time, not for me, you know, not for the benefit of me, not for the growth of me, but to me. And it's like, we now collect these, I don't want to call them awards, but if you can picture a stack of clay bricks and a Sharpie marker in your hand and just writing on each brick when it comes to like the resentment, you know, he did this to me, so-and-so did that. And then you sort of collect these things and you put them in a big burlap bag, and you have all these heavy bricks that you carry around over your shoulder, only they're invisible and nobody sees them. And they're just resentment and guilt, resentment and guilt, resentment and guilt. And then it prevents you from dealing with guys. It prevents you from getting past certain things. It prevents you from letting people in. And then you make up these stories, and you ego invest in these stories like, well, he'll just show up, or I'll manifest him, or as long as he has this or that or the other thing. But there's underlying things beneath that. And this entire bag of bricks that, you know, we collect for ourselves, you know, with the resentment and guilt labeled on them, you just put it down and you walk away from it. And it's really easy to say and to describe what goes on with these little bitter pieces of like trauma that sort of stack upon each other. And sometimes you take these bricks and you build walls with them too. Just slap them together like you're a masonry, and you build walls and you keep people out of your life, sort of thing. And then the thing that I always go to when people do stuff like that is the question, well, how's that working out for you? I really hope you guys enjoyed that clip. If you want to watch the full-length podcast, you can find that over here, that clip's from. If you're newer to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe over here, and pin down below in the top comment, you'll find a bunch of useful links to my website, my supplement line, books, and a bunch of other stuff. Have an amazing day. Peace out.